ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Knowledge is of three types. One is basically intellectual, logic, arithmetic, mathematics, the things of the outer world. All this knowledge comes under the intellectual knowledge session, which you can learn from head. Using the head, you just use the head, that will be enough to learn, to pick up this knowledge. If you just use your mind, that will be enough. If you want to learn some arithmetic, if you want to learn some mathematics, if you want to learn something to do with the outer world, some calculations which you learn from schools, which is your regular academic system. If you want to learn these few things, if you use your head, that will be enough. If you are concentrated, that will be enough. The next type of knowledge is something to do with the heart. It's called art. If you want to learn art, poetry, music, head will be of no use. Head is no use. Using the head, you won't be able to learn art or poetry or music. That's one potter is doing pottery work, making pots. His son also picked up the art. He also started making pots. Somebody asked him, how did you learn from this? How did you learn this from your father? He said, no, I did not learn. I simply picked it up. Seeing every day that he is doing, I picked it up. It cannot be taught. It is the art, something to do with heart. If you have to learn something from the head, something like arithmetic, mathematics or science, you have to use the head. If you have to learn something of heart, something of the music, that is the reason in ancient time music cannot be taught by class system, it is taught only in a Gurukula system. All the great musicians, you can see, they are trained in the Gurukula system. The student will be left with the master, teacher. He will stay with him. He will see every day how the teacher sings, how the master sings, how his life itself is a poetry. When he sees the master's poetry, master's life, he picks up something from that. He became poet. If the poet is taught in a way of intellectual, in a way of arithmetic, the man who learns the poetry will write poems, not poetry. There is a big difference between poem and poetry. He will write poems, but it will not be poetry. It will be a big skeleton of poetry. There is a tremendous difference between the intellectual learning and emotional picking up. That's the third type of knowledge. First is intellectual, second is emotional, third is spiritual. From being learned, This knowledge can neither be taught nor be taught. It can only be transmitted. See the word very clearly. It cannot be taught. It cannot be picked up. It can be only transmitted from being to being. Thing which cannot be taught. We are speaking about the thing which cannot be spoken. That is the basic. You are not here to learn any philosophy. Be very clear. I am not going to give you any philosophy. I am not going to teach you any system. I am going to give the life which I have in my heart. That is what is going to happen all these 6 days. The glimpse of the samadhi, you can call it satori, or spiritual experience, or meditation, whatever you may call it. The glimpse of your being, I am going to give. This is what is going to happen in these 6 days. This is the idea in which the class is. Now I will give the instruction to make you all sit. So whomsoever is possible to sit below, please come and sit below. You will be nearer to me. You sit below, you will be nearer to me. And then know this type of distinction, get mingled, get confused. Never sit near your relative. Please don't see the relative. Just go somebody from there, somebody from here to here. Just get completely mingled. See that your friends and relatives are not near you. There are few things before starting the class you would like to say. After finishing this class, please get registered your name. Get registered with Jai certificate. Please get registered with Mr. Jai certificate, your name. And then, second instruction, please be punctual. It is a deep respect we pay to each other. I think none of us are without having any reason. All of us are sitting. All of us have got outcomes. But they all gathered here to be helped by each other. Not only I am helping you, you are also helping me. How? You may ask. When a woman gets a child, she becomes mother. Not only woman is giving birth to child is giving birth to the woman into motherhood. When you get a child, then only you are mother. Alright? Women. So when you get a child, not the woman gives birth to child. The child gives birth to a woman into motherhood. Woman becomes mother. So it's a really transformation. What to say? Transformation or new birth. So in the same way, how the child helps the mother, you are also helping me. I am helping you to become meditative, to become enlightened. You are helping me how to be a real guru. You are teaching me how to teach you. Without disciple, what is the word guru means? There is no meaning. So both of us are helping each other to grow. That is why the Indian education system starts with a beautiful mantra. The mantra which is uncomparable. The prayer mantra. Om Sahadu Sahau Gunaktu Sahaviryam Karavai Tejasvinapaditamasthu Mavidvishai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This mantra means the Guru and the disciple, both of them pray to the existence, pray to the Parashakti or God, whatever you name it, the higher energy. Let us help each other. The idea is so beautiful. There is nothing egoistic. Both of us are going to help each other. So if we come in a proper time, if we are punctual, we are showing our respect to each other. All of us, leaving all our duties, are gathered here to get help by each other. Even a single person missing here will be something less. Don't think you are only helping me, you are helping others also. Each one of you are going to help in these days to others. I am going to help you, you are going to help me, you are going to help between you others, you people. So, we are all gathered here to help each other. So, if we come in a right time, we will be showing our respect to each other. And when the class starts, there will be beautiful flow. If somebody comes and opens the door at that time, the flow will start. All of us will turn to him and give a look. We will see naturally what will happen. The flow will be broken. It is just like a speed breaker. The speed breaker is only a 3 feet, maybe 3 feet. But to cross the speed breaker, before crossing the speed breaker, you will lessen the speed and then you will cross, then you will increase the speed. So it will take a time of 1 kilometer to cross 2 kilometers. How much time you need? That much of time is wasted just in the 3 feet. So when you come late, you will be simply coming in city only it is a 2-second affair. But speed will get reduced. To pick up the same speed back, it will take time. So come in a punctual and right time. So what are the attitudes you need to follow? I give you instruction. After this class, we will get introduced to each other. First of all, don't come with a serious, loaded mind. Come with a simple, sincere mind. Don't be serious. Don't expect that something will jump on your head. You will see God or something will happen to you. Don't come with a loaded head. If you don't expect anything, if you come with a light mood, light-mindedness, you will be receiving more from me. If you come with a prejudice or come with full of expectations, you will be only thinking about your expectations, not what I say. So don't come with any expectations. Don't come with anything loaded. Come simply in a relaxed way. If you don't expect, you will be receiving more. The people who don't expect, they are going to achieve. They are going to get more from this class. People who are already expecting something. This will happen, that will happen, whether God will jump on my head. God is not going to jump on anybody's head. He is going to be there where he is. So if you come without expectation, you will be receiving benefit, you will be getting benefited more. So come with an empty mind, come with an open mind. Third thing, when you come and leave your shoes outside, please leave your mind also there. Please leave your mind also there and come inside with an empty head. What I mean, you might have attended so many other meditation classes. You might have read lot of spiritual books. You might have heard many spiritual discourses. You must have heard all this, you must have done all these things. You must have done everything. Not that those things are not useful for you. It has been that all these things are useful for you. All these things are given a very good help and benefit. Everything is given to you. But now, this class system is totally different. If you keep all these ideas outside and come in with a fresh mind, without any prejudice, without any comparison with any other yoga therapy systems, you will be receiving my idea with a full openness. Because when I use the word Atman, I will be giving the complete different meaning. When you heard from some other master, from some other teacher, the same word Atman, he must have interpreted in totally different way. So when you bring that interpretation with you, You will not be listening me, you will be listening your own head. You already have some understanding about some ideas, and you are just confusing these ideas with my own. Then things cannot be worked out. I think most of us are in confusion, that's the way it came. If we are not in confusion, if we don't, we are already in clarity. There is no need for this meditation class. Please don't come. If you are clear, if you know your way, if you are already perfect, if you are already attained what is to be attained by a spiritual world, please be in your place. You have all come here to pick something. So when you come, please come with an open mind. When you keep your shoes, keep your mind also. The third thing is a beautiful tale. Great Japanese Zen guru. There is a great Zen monk, Zen Buddhist monk, who is enlightened, who is a master. One person came, they may call it something. One Japanese governor came to see the Zen monk. You can call it, you have to say the Japanese governor's name. When the governor came to meet the enlightened master, meet the Swami, he sent a slip, the governor sent a slip, Yakuzen, governor of Japan, and told the disciple of that Swami, that master, please show this to your master, I want to meet him. When the slip was brought to the master, he took the slip, and Zen masters was so sharp, and when they use the word, they use ugly words. When they try to break somebody's head, they use ugly words. He took the slip and told, I have no business in this idiot, and sent the slip away. Sent the slip back. The slip came back to the governor, but the governor is very intelligent man. Not intellect, but intelligent man. Very sharp man. He immediately got the slip back and erased the word, the governor of Japan. Erase the word governor of Japan, and then send the same slip again. In the slip, only Yakuzen is written. When the slip again came to the master, he saw the slip and told, Yakuzen is waiting. Yes, I have to meet him. Please bring him here. Yes, I am waiting all the way for him. I am waiting for him. Just see the story. It means these posts, these power, this outer material, outer world, the designations which we hold behind and front of our names are just labels. Those things cannot do anything with the spiritual world. The story, all of you understand, the moral of the message behind the story. So when you come in, please keep your governorship outside. If you bring your governorship inside, you will not be able to learn anything from me. Surely you will not be able to pick up anything from here. So here, governors have no duty. Only seekers have got duty. Here, what is going to happen is something between master and seekers. We are going to get transmitted something of inner world. So outer world things are not at all necessary. So whatever may be your post, power, position, capacity, position, or whatever your status, just keep the things outside and come inside with a simple mind, with an innocent mind. When we are innocent, we will be able to pick up so many things. In all the way, whatever you are read, whatever you are heard, whatever your position, whatever your status, all your mind, all your thoughts, just keep it outside and come inside. Otherwise, I will be here talking about meditation. You will be doing your business sitting here. Mentally, you will be doing your business. Just remembering what to do, where to do it. So that will not be a great help. That will be only wasting both of our time. Your time is also wasted, my time is also wasted. So when you come in, just keep the things outside and come in. So, how we will do one thing? We will get introduced to each other. Because these 6 days We are going to live as a family. When you come in, we are a group of seekers. We are nobody else. We are not individuals. Forgetting individuality is the basis of meditation. Just getting dissolved into the group consciousness, just getting dissolved into the spiritual consciousness is what we can call it as a meditation. We may call it any word, we may call it any name. That is what the real thing meditation. So we will get each other, get to know each other. Just every one of us will stand and tell your name. What are you want to introduce about yourself? Just today you can read. Just now, introduce to others. Of course, not that government of Japan, the way is wrong. It is right in the society. It is wrong in the master. Ford and Buddha, both are not the same, but only in different fields. So you have achieved something out in outer world. I have achieved something in inner world. I have tested few hypotheses, few spiritual hypotheses in my life, in my inner laboratory. So whatever I did research, whatever is the report, I am going to share with you all. That is the only thing that is going to happen here. Another thing, how to sit, how to get best out of this class. As I told you in introduction, if it is an intellectual thing, you have to be concentrated, you have to be tense, you have to be serious, you have to be attentive, then only you will be able to listen. Then only you will be able to get it. But here, I say you very clearly, don't be concentrated. Don't be tense. Sit in a relaxed, cool, collective mood. Concentration will happen. Don't do it purposely. That I will have to listen to Swamiji's words. I will have to pick it up in my mind. I will have to go on practice. Don't have all these plans. Just listen. With an open heart, just listen, that is enough. Because I am not teaching from head. If I am teaching from head, you have to use your head and listen. Then it means it is a communication. But what I am going to do here is not communication, communion. You are going to listen from my heart. So just keep your heart open. It will directly attach you. You don't have to try, you don't have to go and practice what I teach here. I tell you here very clearly, don't try to practice what I say. It may be paradox. What Swami says, don't try to practice. What I mean, don't plan. When you listen to me, don't try to create a plan. Oh, Swamiji says, I will go and do some plans and I will go and practice all these things. Don't try to have any plan. Just sit with an open, empty-minded and happy. Just sit blissfully, as if you are going to sit and chat with your friend. And never keep your mouth closed. At least comment once in the class. In the whole class, at least make one comment. Don't be silent. Don't keep mum. You are not going to listen Ramayana Bhagavata. Again and again I tell you. You are not listening Bhagavata. If you listen Bhagavata, you have to keep quiet. You have to be silent. But here it is not going to happen. So at least once in a class, give a one comment. Some response. I say you, be like a live young boy or a cute time. Just like a young boy, young person, live, just be alive, like a fire. Just try, just be on your best to comment, to grasp. That's what I mean. If you are listening some intellectual knowledge, then you have to be concentrated. Here you are not at all listening something intellectual. You are listening something day-to-day practical things. I am going to give you some practical life things. The systems which will change your life, which will transform your life. So be aware and alive and just comment. Try to get interactive. Anything you can comment, nothing is wrong. Please be very clear. We are not here for the, you should not make mistake, you should not comment, you should not talk something wrong. I don't make any mistake of rule. Just comment, whatever you feel like, don't bother. Jump before you think. The teaching you would have heard in another way, think before you jump. But I say you jump before you think. Just give some comment. You will not understand what I say now. When you practice only you will understand. If you are alive, if you are ready to make some comment, without your knowledge, you will be receiving what I teach. If you are completely closed, you will not be receiving what I teach, what I give. So if you are open and ready to comment, ready to practice, then you will be completely receiving me. You will be live. You will be receiving me. So there are three things in listening. There are two types of mistakes you will do when you listen to me. One is doubt. Man who listens with the head, intellect, won't be able to receive because the doubt will be there. The logic. Logic can play its role or its role. Both the three logic can play. So logic is prostitute. Logic cannot give you any right knowledge. So with logic when you listen, you will be full of doubts. A man with doubt will not be benefited in this class. And the second thing, man with belief, he will also not be benefited equally. How a man with doubt will not be benefited by this class. In the same way, if you have faith on me, you are lost. Please mark this word. These are all few. These are all few keys. If you believe in me, you are lost. Don't believe in anybody, not only on me. Don't believe in anybody. Then what to do? You should neither hear, you should neither listen with doubt, nor listen with belief. Don't have doubt or faith. The third word I am going to give you. Listen with trust. It means, if you listen with doubt, you will forget. You will not even, the words will not even go inside. You will be just sitting here and wasting your time. If you listen with belief, you will listen. Yes, whatever Swami says, perfectly okay. Things are alright. There is nothing wrong. But you will not practice. The so-called believers are the people who are occupying the whole world and not doing anything. India is such a religious country, but filled with hypocrites. Such a religious country, you will see only religious, not spiritual. The difference is this. Yes, I believe in Rama, I believe in Krishna, but let it be in this place. I put on garland and make me garland. Not that I will put these teachings into practice. So when you listen with trust, trust means the energy, the ability to translate my teachings into practical life. Listen, as you listen the hypothesis. There is a hypothesis that about human law. You heard about something about human law. Or you can take some more practical example. When you listen, when you hear, the sun is rising in the morning, sun is rising in the east. Do you doubt it? Do you believe it? You just see. You are seeing it. When you listen this statement from me, you will keep this in mind, and next day morning you will check it out. You will see. This is what I call trust. Please attend this class in the same manner. When you listen, just keep it as a hypothesis and see whether it works out or not in your life. And try to practice it. That's what I say. If you have belief on me, if you have faith on me, what will you do? I will one more Devata. Already we have 33 crores. Do you want I one more? You will put my over also, put a big garland and start doing art. I don't want all this nonsense to happen. So, please listen with a trust, not with faith. I never say believe in me, or I never say have faith on me. Trust, that's the basic thing. Just take all these things as a hypothesis and work it out in your life and see whether it works or not. Whether it is practical or not. Have this openness. faith. Don't have doubt and faith. Both you don't have. Both are the two sides of same coin. If you have doubt in deep mind, you will have faith. If you have faith in deep mind, deep doubt, you will have doubt. All the atheists, the so-called atheists, no God philosophers, before their death, they will pray at least once or twice. At the time of death, they will get a little frightened. Maybe God is sitting in somewhere, don't know. Why not? Now we will pray to Him also. People will naturally, they are unconsciously having the faith. If you have the faith, if you believe in somebody, if you have faith on some master, some guru, some God, undoubtedly, you will be having doubt in unconscious. I assure you, faith and doubt both are two sides of the same coin, which is called your mind. So when he says trust, I say drop that coin. Drop both. What you listen here, just digest it and try to put it in your life. When it works out, okay. If it doesn't work out, okay, no problem, forget it. So neither have belief nor have doubt. The people who listen with belief, what happens, you know? People who listen with doubt, it never enters into their mind, but okay, no problem at all from them. They simply go and forget me and do their duty, okay, but no problem. But the people who believe me, they completely acquire knowledge from me. All these things they listen. They don't work out. But they start preaching. They start boasting themselves as if they have written something, they have learned something. Many of us, after attending so many meditation classes, so many yoga groups, what is the benefit? We have got so many certificates. So many medals and certificates will be in our house. And whosoever comes, we will start explaining them. Either they want to listen or don't want to listen. But at least the juice which we have given, for that we will catch and explain the whole thing. And then only we will allow them outside. So what will happen finally? You will be having one more certificate from me. Don't have it. Don't come here for that sake. Here I am not here to give you any philosophy or any teaching or any system with which you can go outside and brag about. Yes, I have attended Anand Deva class and I know something. Come here, I will teach you. If that person says, no, I don't want, no, I will teach you cats. Come here, you have to learn. So this is what we are doing. Almost all of our spiritual life is nothing but hearing something and vomiting on somebody. Without getting digested, just vomiting on others. Don't do this here. At least this time, don't do that. If you listen with belief, you will do the same thing. Don't listen with belief. Of course, my message is such a radical, you won't be able to believe. I will be giving heavy shocks to you. Every day there will be big shocks. So you will not be able to believe. Your mind will simply get puzzled. You will get puzzled. What this Swami is telling. When you put it into practice, then only you will see the reality. As I say, at least comment once. When you listen, you will think, wow, start commenting what will happen to the class. But I say really, when you just start commenting what will happen to the class, you will see. It will be more like somebody sleeping. What to do? But there was nobody sleeping, just I showed it. To make some people who are almost sleeping to awake. You see, this is what happens. If you just go on listening, without listening, there are two things. You will be hearing, not listening. The words will be falling in your ears, but you will not be hearing. So if these things happen, nothing can be done. So if you keep alive, if you want to be alive, just try to give some comments. Just try to raise any question you want. Anywhere, anything you don't understand, just simply raise your hand and raise your question. Do you understand? And when I speak, when I ask something, do you understand? Please say at least yes or no. Don't simply sit idle, because I am talking to you, not that I am talking to this so-called teachers are so trained, whether people are there or not, simply they will talk. But I am not trained teacher. I am a man. I have come here to share my experience with you all, to give some gifts to you all, to take you into my fold. That's why I have done. Welcome to the world of enlightenment. This is totally a different world. We are all in the path. We are trying to help each other. So, don't be sitting idle. Don't be sitting in an idle way. When I ask you, just at that moment, at least at that moment, get alert and give answer, either yes or no. That is very easy for me to interact. So now I will come to the session. You all introduce yourself to each other. Is it not? You all introduce yourself to each other. Somebody introduce himself as a you introduce yourself as a and then somebody introduce as outside. There are so many ways we have got introduced. We have introduced ourselves to each other. But let us see. Let us try to introduce ourselves to ourselves. I am a doctor. You may be doctor to society. Society calls you a doctor. Are you doctor? Are you a doctor? You are not a doctor. Your profession is doctor. Somebody may be telling the name Sita. You are not a Sita. Your name is Sita. Am I right? Do you understand what I want to mean? You are not a Sita. Your name is Sita. You are not a Rama. Your name is Rama. Then he told, now you are Atma. What do you know about Atma? Why do you bring that word now? You see, anybody even at least we know the word meaning of the word Sita, but we don't know about Atma. Either we get into the outside world or we get into the inside world. Inside world is what? World of thoughts. Atma, Paramatma, Jivatma, all these few words we build up from some books. Which should not be read. Which should be given to the what the cockroaches. Cockroaches. It should have been given to the cockroaches. We simply read it and put in our mind and do something. Yes, that is the thing. You see, there are two types of classes. One is I am Sita and another one is I am Atma. Both are existing. This we pick it up from the spiritual world. Do we know anything about Atma? How much we are ignorant about how we are Sita, how we are Doctor. That much we are equally ignorant about how we are Atma. I am Atma is not something to be uttered, it is to be experienced. Don't have even the illusion. That is also a illusion. That is illusion of intellect, the knowledgeable idiots. The right word for the people who have read lot of spiritual literature and again and again remember that I am Atma, the right word for them is knowledgeable idiots. I think I am sharply breaking, but that is the right word, no other way. You see, here I am here to just break the heads, no other way. You want the real knowledge. I am not actually, very openly, I am not going to teach what is meditation. I am going to teach what is not meditation, all 6 days. When I teach you what is not meditation, naturally you will fall into meditation. The many people, the learned man, have to unlearn many things. I am not going to answer your questions. I am going to question your answers. These 6 days, I am just going to break the ideas which you have in your head. The one person, the worldly man, is having the idea, I am Sita, I am Doctor. The so-called spiritual man, the religious man, is having the idea, I am Atma. Both are nothing but the same idea. It will be at the most the skin deep. Yes, you heard, and yeah, I am Atma from some Mahatma, some Swami, or some book, some discourse, and started believing. That is what has happened. I think nothing more has happened. Anybody who can say that something more has happened in me? Huh? Okay. Not yet. We have heard. We have not digested. It means we have heard, but it has not been an experience. It means we have eaten, but it has not yet become digested. Then what will happen? What will happen? We have heard, it has not been digested. What will happen? Undigested. Vomiting. That is what. Even undigested is little bit we can bear. Only we will be suffering. If we vomit, others will be suffering. Most of us are vomiting. Most of us gather in this state of knowledge and vomit on others. Nothing has been digested. So don't have both these ideas. Now let us come to the point of introducing ourselves to others. So you say that many people got introduced and some of them escaped in intelligent way. Simply they told their place and from where they are coming. Simply they escaped. Some other class people get caught writing. They will give you a big introduction. I am coming from there, I am coming from such a place, I am holding such a property, all these things. I will simply catch them only correctly. But here, nobody was caught. You say you are Sita, some name. Just turn inside and ask, am I Mama? No. It is a label given to you by the society. Do you understand the word? Exactly labeled. As we labeled the houses, 13 bar 1, 13 bar 12, Baswangudi, 13 bar 3, something. As we labeled the houses, you have been labeled by the society in this name. You are not this name. Am I right? If anybody is not accepting, anybody is not able to agree with this idea, you can raise your hands. So, then who are you? Who are you? No. I cannot explain. It means that we are coming to the conclusion, we are coming here to the conclusion that we don't know ourselves.
Well said.
We don't know ourselves. If we come to this conclusion, we start knowing about ourselves. When we don't know that we don't know, we at least know that we don't know. If we don't know that we don't know, we don't even know that we don't know. Yes.
Is it necessary to know?
Yes. That's a beautiful question. If you are right person, he answered. Actually, if you feel it is not necessary, it is well and good, you are perfect human being. Be drop everything and be happy. Don't bother anything, just all this confusion ends and you can simply eat, sleep and have rest. That is what problem starts. That is where problem starts. She has the right question, is it possible? Actually it is impossible. How man is a Satchidananda by nature, he wants to know. You see, you are just coming and sitting here. I am also sitting here. For 3 minutes, if I also simply sit and you also simply sit, will your mind keep quiet? At least you will try to know who is this Swami, what is his name. Am I right? If nobody else is there, the old newspaper will be there, you will be reading the same newspaper again and again. And you want to know something new is there. You have read already enough, you know what is written in that, even then you will feel, I would have missed something else, let me see.
Mind is compared to a monkey.
Yes, we don't have to use the word monkey because it's such a condemning word. I am not using that word directly, but we are continuously in the path of knowing. You cannot rest without knowing. If you are happy, that why should you know? It is beautiful, please be relaxed and have rest. It is nothing wrong, not at all wrong. But she asked the right question, is it possible? But really it is impossible. Buffalo don't have problem. You see, buffalo never bothers. So whether I am Atma or buffalo. Yeah, we see any buffalo sitting and worrying. Whether should I meditate or not meditate? Which guru I should choose? Which path I should choose? Whether I should go to Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga? It knows only one way. Go to the pond and take bath. You see, that doesn't bother. But when you have come to the evolution, the parinama of a human being, in spite of you, not because of you, you are here. In spite of you, you are here. Please be very clear. Don't have any credit that I have gone to the Swami and listened to the spiritual lecture and I am attending meditation classes. You see how much I am spiritual. All these people, especially mother-in-laws to the daughter-in-laws and daughter-in-laws to the mother-in-laws, as soon as they go to the house, they will start bragging. I want the Swami is teaching so many things you don't know. And if she is a mother-in-law, she will brag to the daughter-in-law. If she is a daughter-in-law, then mother-in-law. Simply, whatever will happen after this course, if you go to the house, in all the people's house, you will see the same. They will be bragging. Am I right? Huh? Yes. If the mother-in-law is not there, then you will catch somebody else, another his neighbor, somebody else, and start bragging. Never try to brag. Try to brag. You are not here because of you. You are here in spite of you. You will not be able to keep quiet unless or otherwise you know who you are. That is why you are running temples after temples, swamis after swamis, books after books, yoga books after yoga books. You cannot keep quiet until and unless you know who you are. Can you? Anybody please, you can contradict me. That is not a thing, you should only sit and listen. Any of you can contradict me. Openly you can contradict. Any of you, can you say that I am happy without knowing about myself?
Everyone doesn't bother to know.
No problem. Then, you are not bothered. Then please don't come to Moran's class. You can have rest. Really. You can have rest. If you are at ease, then without bothering about yourself. If you are perfectly okay, that without knowing about yourself you are okay, then there is no need. Actually, it is not a compulsion.
See,
Maybe.
100 marks. The person who gets 100 marks, the scientist is going to 102, 103. That is why all the, maybe up to 11. After that also she is want to come here.
One thing, if you know, there is only two categories. Either you know or you don't know. That is, there is no category that 100 marks, 120 marks, 130 marks. In spiritual world, there is no two categories. You know or you don't know. If you otherwise, that if you say that 30% I know about myself, the other 70% I want to know about myself, there is no such category.
Swami, one question. How many people really ask this question to Ahmed? How many? 1 in a million? How many ask?
Actually, we don't have to bother about others, how many are asking, whether I am asking or not. That's what I am concerned with. Whether you are asking or not, each one of you I am concerned with. I am not at all concerned with a mass or group. I am concerned with each one of you. I am not talking to others. Generally, when we listen to spiritual discourse, there is two types of listening. When we listen to medical discourse, and classes about medicines, the doctors can be able to tell this. When you listen to the medical professor talking about some disease and some clarifications, you will find whether I have the symptoms. When you listen to the spiritual discourse, you will find whether other person has got the symptoms. When you listen to a physical thing, that if you have pain in the leg, it is called arthritis. Then immediately you will check up whether you have a pain in the leg or not. When you listen to the spiritual discourse, if a man is giving dharma, he is called dharmadhikari. You will see whether he is dharmadhikari or not. Am I right? This is what is our cycle. Basically, when we listen about there are two types of listening. So whenever we listen these type of discourses, we put the blame on others. How many are asking? You see, I am asking. How many are asking? We are just trying to shift the responsibility. And when we listen to that spiritual discourse, many times we think this idea is Swami is not telling for me, for next person. No, I know about myself. Only others maybe don't know him. That's why they have all come here. Same thing. I know about myself. I don't bother. I don't worry at all. But I know every day you are talking always you are talking only about your worries. When I give some 5 minutes to somebody, everybody will start talking about their worries only. If you know yourself very clearly, you will not be having worries. These are the few scales with which we can measure whether I know, whether I am worrying, whether I am capable, whether I am qualified. You ask the right question. That they already know a little bit, they want to know more and then they come. In spiritual field, there is no such two categories. Only two categories. One is either you know completely or you don't know completely. There is no such thing. I know 40%, I will know other 40% with somebody from somebody else. No. Actually, in a spiritual philosophy, in a deep spiritual experience, there is no such thing as travel. I very clearly declare it. In this, we simply try to cheat ourselves in the name of travel. We are not ready to reach the real spiritual place. And we are not ready to claim that we don't know anything spiritually. It's such a ugly thing. See, I don't know anything spiritually. No, I cannot accept it. I know spiritually. We want to keep our ego. So we create our own philosophies and systems in between, middle, compromising systems. I may not be enlightened, but I know something. I may not know about myself completely, but I know 40%. I know 30%. I will know more. All these things are just trying to cheat ourselves. You see, we have cheated ourselves with Arjuna Vishada Yoga. And if you read Gita, beautiful thing. The first chapter itself, first chapter Krishna never speaks. Arjuna says about his sorrow, everything, so many things he says. When he finally uttered, he don't know anything. Yes, when he finally surrendered, then only the message of Gita can be given to Arjuna. Even though Arjuna is well known to Krishna, and Krishna, from childhood, from young age onwards, they were playing with each other, they were brought up each other, they know about each other for so many years. But Gita was not delivered at any of the time. Gita was not delivered. There are so many other easy, cool situations in Arjuna and Krishna's life. But at that time and all, at the time the Gita is not delivered. At the time of war, they are going to fight. They are the battlefield at the hectic position, at the hectic situation. The Gita is delivered. Why? You can see the picture behind that field. You just picture in what position the Gita is delivered. War is going to start. So in that time, Gita started. Why? Previously, Krishna and Arjuna were together in so many places in Indraprastha. Their whole life they are almost together. Many of your masters in Bhagavad, Mahabharata they can tell. Whole of them they have been together. In Vrindavan, Mathura, so many places they have been together. There were so many pleasant, cool, calm, collective situations. In all those situations, Gita is not delivered to Krishna, to Arjuna. By Krishna. Why? Arjuna is not right. When Arjuna says very clearly, I don't know. When Arjuna declares very clearly, I don't know. When he surrenders, then only Gita starts. So when you surrender the ego and say completely, I don't know about myself. then you start knowing about yourself. Then only actually you can enter into the class. So, the basic condition for a spiritual progress, for a spiritual growth is this, that know that very clearly that you don't know. When you know very clearly you don't know, you already started your journey. The right beginning is equal to half of the journey, and half journey is finished. In a way, when you started rightly, you have ended. It's only a question of days. So, today we will end with the right start. Today we will end with the right beginning. So, thank you. So, there are a few instructions. That I will get to on few days, another day. You see, you don't go for how to. Now you be very clear, that I don't know. How to, we will discuss about tomorrow. Tomorrow we will see how to, what to, when to, all these things.
Our ego is to surrender.
Our
ego is to surrender.
You see, even you don't have to confuse about all these things. Just whatever you listen, that's enough. Tomorrow we will start the next thing. We will proceed. Yes. Tomorrow onwards in class, no cell phone. You will be made to do meditations. Actually, today itself we would have done, but because of the introduction session, we got a little late. So tomorrow onwards, every day I can give you a small thing, small few instructions. What is going to happen here is you will be made to do the meditations, which will heal your body, mind, and spiritual energies. You will be made to do the meditations. So no cell phone. Come with a loose glasses. For gents, dhoti and kurta will be better. What is using? If you have, it is preferably, but if you don't have, no problem, you come with a pant shirt itself. But if you have, if it is possible, come with this type of clothes. For women, the chudidar will be better. Loose clothing. If you don't have, alright, you can come. So this is the best. So in these 2 hours, no cell phone. Please. Tomorrow there will be healing session. 4 to 6 there will be healing session. And whosoever wants to register for this class, please get it registered. Now you can get it registered. And is there any other doubt? 4 to 6 healing session. 6 to 8 class. 8:30 you will take 8:30. 8:30. And you will be made to do meditations here. Every day you will be made to do meditations. Can do. And every day there will be homework. Tomorrow onwards homework will start. Please do the homework properly and bring it to me. Don't miss it. Because you will be engaged, you will be given a sort of exercise, you will be given an idea to work out. The whole day you want to work out that idea and give me a report in a written form. You see, this is not a simple intellectual class. Here I am making you to go through an experience. So for that, please cooperate with me completely. If you cooperate, you are the benefactor. Otherwise, it is up to you. You are all intelligent people. I trust your intelligence and leave the things to you. It is up to you to prove your intelligence. Please do the homework perfectly. Anything else? Yes, please bring paper and pen. It will be easy for you to note down. Sharply 6, just before 6, 5-10 minutes before 6. And when you come, directly you can come and sit. Tomorrow you will be getting cards. Your cards will be placed in different places. Just come and see where your name is there and sit there. You will not be made to sit in this way. You will be completely confused in mind and outside, both ways. You will be putting a deep confusion. That is the way for
We have to sit on the floor. For doing meditation,
You see, for meditation, if you sit on the floor, that will be easy, that will be good, that will be good and better. If you are not, then you can sit, no problem. And one more thing, when you sit and listen, this is the main important instruction I want to give you. When you sit and listen, in mind, don't argue with my statements and don't try to compare with some other statements which you already listened. Some other system you might have heard. Don't try to compare continuously. If you are doing some comparing work, you will not be listening me. You will be missing me. Just be aware of your breath and be aware of what I am saying. Just if you look completely, that will be enough. So tomorrow, people who are arranging the keep some pots here, flower pots, that will be more pleasing and attractive look. So, and it will be a sort of a completely relaxed, interactive session. So don't be serious. Don't think that if you tell something wrong, immediately people will laugh, nothing like that. Don't bother about others' laughter. At least you have courage to tell. Others have got the same problem that they are not telling, they are hiding. See, if you get some moon, if you keep that moon covering with gold, do you think that moon will get killed? Even if you don't put medicine in it, you keep it open, that will get killed by sunlight. In the same way, if you have some problem, don't cover it with a gold coverage. Gold coverage means what? What we are following, what we call it culture. A beautiful name we give it to that. We call it culture. You should not talk. Here, this is not the sabha which you should not talk. Here you are here to talk and freely interact. Don't think if I open my mouth, I will show my ignorance. Not that somebody is knowledgeable, somebody is ignorant. Here everybody is ignorant, including me. Everybody is ignorant. I have done some research in my inner laboratory and I had that experience. That experience I am sharing. That is what is here happening. Don't bother about your ignorance. Really, ignorance, with ignorance, you start your journey. If you know that you are ignorant, you are at least aware that you are ignorant. That's what I am saying. If you know that you don't know, at least you know that you don't know. If you don't know that you don't know, you don't even know that you don't know. That's what I mean. So today's whole gist is this two sentences. If you know that you don't know, you know at least you don't know. If you don't know that you don't know, you don't even know that you don't know. But one thing is that you don't know. So be very clear that you don't know. Then things can be proceeded. From knowing, from unknowing to knowing. The patients whom I already diagnosed and told that you will be given healing sessions, will be having healing sessions from 4:30 to 6. The other patients actually, when you sit in the presence, this itself will help you a lot. The other people who are yet to get diagnosed will be diagnosed after this class. When this 6-day session gets over, you will be given time and you will be healed. Don't worry, just wait for a few days. You see, in the presence, if you get healed, that will be much better without having the time of a Swami. If at all you have some chronic problem which is not getting healed, then you will be healed separately. That's the easy. So already you are given time, they will be given engagement and healing sessions after 4:30 at the time of 4:30 days. Any other question?
What about children?
Please don't bring them. If they will be silent, if they will not disturb the class, you can bring them. Otherwise it is very difficult to see. Just because of one children, the whole class will get disturbed. I think in this 1 hour you understood what mode the class will go for the 6 days. It will be a complete interactive session. All will be attentive and asking for the question of life and death. There will be many people. After 2-3 days you will all get opened. First day nobody will get opened. Everybody will be completely sealed. Because you are already sealed by the society. Fear, greed, so many anger, depression. All these things are sealed you. So 1 or 2 days it will take for me to break. When I break, you all will be open. When you are open, you will be asking the many questions which is life and death questions. So for all these things when I am answering, there should be no disturbance.
Healing session means you are healing the problem or teaching how to heal the problem.
I am healing actually. At present I am healing. I am not going to teach you about the healing. That will take next course.
If there is any problem, they have to tell you, you will solve the problem.
At present, there is no need to tell. You can just attend the class, continue the class. You will be given many meditation techniques. You will be made to do the meditation techniques, which will heal the major diseases. The types of pain, all these things will be healed. So if something is not getting healed, afterwards I will attend to. At present, there is no need to tell you. You can simply sit and listen and have the class. That will be enough. And don't leave the class before class ends, before the session ends. Be very clear. Before entering the class itself, be very clear. Will I be able to stay till 8:30? Or even if it takes some time more. Or do you have to have any other engagement? If you have engagement, don't come in at all. You have some other engagement, don't come in. It is not a thing of compulsory. Nothing is compulsory. Everything is our option. We want to grow. We have come here. Come here to help each other. That's all. It's up to us.